Intention is the last topic I want to cover here before we talk about planting and transplanting into the soil and soil prep and all that kind of stuff. This is an anecdote. I was working with a woman in Central Mass a few years ago. She'd taken this course a couple of times and was, had the Kool-Aid. She was doing her soil tests. She was doing her mineral balancing. She was mulching and foliar spraying and doing doing a really good job. And she asked me to come look at her farm, and I was driving by. I said, see if you have any thoughts. So I went to look, and we were walking down the field, about 1 acre of mixed vegetables, and I was like, Liz, things are looking pretty damn good. What do you want me to tell you? Good job, pat you on the back. We got about halfway down the field, and I looked at, and I came to the onion patch, and I was like, but what did you do to the onions? Because these onions are, I've grown onions for a long time, and these are amazing looking onions. These are like every single onion. It's like just a beast, They're just like looking like, how did you get such an amazing stand of onions? And she said, well, we didn't do anything different. And I said, well, I don't know. It looks like everything else looks really nice, and the onions look absolutely amazing. What did you? Okay, you didn't do anything different. Whatever. So we walked down, finished looking through the field, and got to the end. And she's like, actually, when we started our onions, it was February 15th, and we were all getting, spring fever and stir crazy and wanted to get outside and get our hands in the dirt. And everybody was really excited about getting started for the year. And before we started planting, we stopped and we stood around in a circle. I'm not sure if they held hands or not. I don't think there was anything said necessarily, but just took a moment. Just take a moment, and everybody did their own little, privately said thank you, basically, to the onions. Like, we appreciate it, and we're grateful, and we're here for you guys. Just that, which is not just, of course. And I was like, oh, that explains it. I needed something different for the onions. They were absolutely stupefyingly, ridiculously beautiful. They were amazing looking onions. I really do think that aspect of intention, of engagement, call it woo-woo, call it don't think about it. I don't want to even, don't tell anybody about it. I don't know, you don't have to say anything out loud. It has nothing to do with any ceremony whatsoever as far as I'm concerned. If you know how to feel gratitude or appreciation for anybody or anything, if you ever feel gratitude for your car for driving you around, you appreciate your children, you've got a spouse you love, you've got a dog, it doesn't really matter. If you know how to feel that way, just spending a moment to feel that way with your plants. Think about for a second the fact that they're going to be incarnating so they can be eaten alive, so their bodies can be eaten by you, right? They are coming with such service to feed you, and that's what they want to do. That's their calling, that's their mission, that's what they've chosen in this life. And they're so loving and so happy to serve. If you could think about it from their perspective, what they're up to. Think about it with pigs that way too. Like if you're born as a piglet, you pretty much you chose the end game on this one, right? It's not as much of other kinds of a chance here. So I like to think that there's intention and consciousness behind it all, and just be grateful. And the more times, we'll talk about this after the break, the more times you can do that when you're out there in the field, and remember to say, just say thanks, guys, or hey, how's it going, or engage them. I think that's what a green thumb is, personally. I think people with green thumbs are people who have that going on, don't talk about it. They feel, you don't necessarily need to think about it. If you just have that sort of loving feeling, I think that's a really massive piece of the puzzle. We'll talk about the science behind all that, and antenna systems, and frequencies and all that kind of stuff at the end of the day, because there's a lot of science which talks about how this works, which seems pretty solid. So either way, if it resonates with you, I think that's one piece of the puzzle to be integrating from the very beginning, from the moment you plant your seeds, or the moment before you plant your seeds, all the way through, is to just be taking a moment for that.